Welcome back to the channel. Last video I talked about good and evil from an intuitive perspective. In this video I'm going to examine good and evil from an analytical perspective. So morality is the difference between the left brain and the right brain perspectives of good and evil. Since morality is unquantifiable, it does not fit into the left brain perspective. However, good and evil can be assigned mathematical values, allowing you to put the concepts on a sliding scale. People or different systems or organizations can't be put on this scale because they are too complex. There's too many variables associated with the two. But with enough data points over time, an average can determine their position on the scale. By associating the concepts of good and evil with positive and negative values, this enables their comparison to wave patterns. This association reveals numerous insights. A significant realization is that good and evil can be understood as concepts that adhere to the wave-like nature of reality. Now let's look a little deeper into this concept. If one can associate good and evil with positive and negative values, then it is possible to draw similar associations with dichotomous concepts such as light and dark, white and black, hot and cold, young and old. Consider the seasons: winter, summer, spring, fall. In the context of government and economics, these dualities manifest as Republican and Democrat, rich and poor. Daily life also alternates between these states: lively, tired, awake, and asleep. It is important to note that no individual stays consistently happy or sad 100% of the time. As individuals move through their daily routines, their overall mood shifts from positive to negative states. The argument posited here is that nearly every aspect of reality can be associated with positive and negative values. Existence itself is fundamentally governed by mathematical principles. Now let's go a little bit deeper into this topic. Everything that we see with our eyes are just wavelengths of light. The things we hear are just wavelengths of sound. This brings us to a fascinating realization. Our entire sensory experience is dictated by wave patterns. These patterns can be measured, analyzed, and understood scientifically. In this concept, good and evil, like light and sound, are just another set of waveforms that we interpret and react to based on our perception. As we go deeper into the wave nature of reality, we find that everything is interconnected. From the way we perceive colors to the emotions that we feel, they can all be mapped onto a spectrum of positive and negative values. This opens up new possibilities for understanding the world around us and the behaviors within it. By recognizing the wave patterns in our daily lives, we can begin to see the oscillations of good and evil as part of a broader dynamic system. Now let's explore further how these wave patterns make up the very fabric of existence. Consider the smallest known particles. Within the atomic nuclei are protons and neutrons, classified as hadrons. Composite particles comprised of quarks. Quarks are fundamental particles, meaning they cannot be subdivided. They are never found in isolation. There are 6 types of quarks: top, charm, and up quarks, which has a positive charge, and down, strange, and bottom quarks, which have a negative charge. See where we're going with this? Quarks acquire mass through their interaction with the Higgs field. Prior to this interaction, they are regarded as indivisible building blocks of matter, with positive or negative charges depending on their flavor. So, the properties of quarks is as follows. Fundamental, massless before interacting with the Higgs field, indivisible and never found in isolation, and they possess positive and negative charges. These attributes align with the characteristics of sinusoidal waveforms. The Higgs field imparts mass upon these waveforms via the Higgs mechanism, wherein the interaction with the Higgs field induces resistance to motion perceived as mass. Before the interaction with the Higgs field, only pure frequency exists, pure light. Photons, the fundamental particles of light, do not interact with the Higgs field and thus exist without mass in our space-time environment. Light only becomes visible whenever it interacts with mass. So the concept of good and evil extend beyond abstract moral ideas. They represent the fundamental mathematical framework that underlies all existence. Our reality is constructed from a complex web of interrelated waveforms that connect seemingly unrelated concepts. A deeper understanding of these principles reveals why the universe exhibits both harmony and chaos. This phenomenon is not the result of an intelligent designer. Rather, it's a natural consequence of mathematical frequency. In conclusion, I present the concept of zero. By combining all positive and negative outcomes derived from the wave pattern concept of reality, one can find that they sum to zero. Zero represents a unifying concept, encapsulating everything in existence, while simultaneously embodying the notion of total absence. So that was part 2 of the good and evil videos. So I hope you enjoyed it. So I guess like and subscribe. That's what everyone says at the end of these videos. But no, if you did, if you liked it, let me know.